Hiya, how are you today? I am back here in this awesome little game that I love so much. It is so relaxing. When the stress gets bad, you just start clicking and clicking. And it'll either drive you mad some days or it just relaxes and makes you mellow. Mostly it does the relaxing part, so I'm happy. I'm good. So we will get this done. Yeah, I'm liking this first time I've been back into the garden room. Now, something, Critter, you mentioned that you had been to the campground. Ah, that's so sweet. And that you had found some of the seats are turned wrong. So I will be fixing that. I'm actually making a little list here on my desk of things that need to be fixed. So I'm figuring probably the last 10 videos that I do before we get into our train thing will be me just running around fixing those last minute things. You know, tweaking this, adding that, changing, the lighting on a place or this or that or the other thing. And I mean, I don't know that I'll record that, but I know it's going to be a process for me, certainly. It's going to be a process. Because as I'm, wandering through the farm, I'm always seeing something that, just got plopped down here and just put there, and I've changed my mind and haven't gotten back to it. And, yeah. At any rate, between these two, the trees or the water, I'm definitely liking the tree thing better and better as I've wandered around in here. So I am going to move this stuff out of the way. And we're going to move the fountain up. Like so. And then we're going to put more trees around behind that. And at least that will be one thing that is completed. Oh, there's so many plants just hanging around all over the place. Oh, and and Critter, you've mentioned this before. As soon as if you drop a quest or something like that, you'll just get more of them coming back. This one came up. I need 80 red tea. That popped up literally about 2 minutes after someone had harvested all the red tea in the place. It was just like, wow, you could just not have done that any better. I changed the path in here a little bit, which looks okay and allows you to, make a nice continuous circle. Oh, excuse me, through here. So, and the whole gatehouse thing, I don't know. It's not like, oh, I just love this, but it feels okay. It feels okay. I might just leave that. So these two corners are done in the same. Yes. Why, yes, they are. We do have a gatehouse on this side. This is working out really well to harvest. It's not a perfect, those long straight lines that you get on lots of the really flat farms that I am so envious of when I'm there harvesting. But I'm just making loops. I usually, come in here, and then I go up this row, and you go along the outside, and then you tuck into the inside, and you just sort of spiral in, and it's working okay. It's an easy harvest. It's not too annoying. It's too bad this is only too wide, but quite frankly, it looks better too wide. It's like every single row isn't the same. It feels to me like it adds a little bit more interest. It's not as efficient, but I don't care. It's okay. With this, the consensus was inside is good and out at the edge is better. And I went, you know what? Fine. I will compromise. And I've moved them out a little bit. I am guessing I will still want this path along the front. I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the case, but it is for now. It'll be fine. And we have this house sitting here in this empty spot. And the big question for me is, do I want these at all? I mean, we've got the other fountains. I'm feeling like I should just use that and, continue that design sort of thing into here as well. So I'm thinking, yeah, it hurts, but I think so. And then, I don't know, this would be here. I think here is probably better. You know, the train's going to be making this corner. It feels like having maybe some plants or something there is a bit of a buffer between the fountain and the, I mean, you don't want to get sprayed when you're taking that corner, because corners are slow. The train goes really slow on corners. This little loop here is going to be painful. And these fountains light up the place at night. There's so much movement in them, and that's what I like best, is it really wakes up the landscape. It does quite a nice job. Now, of course, the other option, ooh, okay. Now, can I put, this is not the middle, however. This is what? We've got 2 there and 3 on the back. And then this is not even either. I would have to take this and move it over by 1 more. Which doesn't sound like a dreadful proposition, does it? It'll give me a couple of extras, but they can be deleted. And I guess with the back row not being the same, a row of trees again is a backdrop? Quite possibly, huh? So we just have to move this by 1, I believe, yeah? Now, again, this makes for a nice, you know, formal placement inside the garden. But what it is also going to do is make it uneven somewhat, like here. You know, we're going to be coming up on this and unevenly. So, if I did this, and we only had the 2 on this side, it still wouldn't, unless I surrounded the whole garden in trees. If I had a row of trees along the outside as sort of a buffer between the train sounds and the house, it makes the house garden a little more private. I mean, that's a thing. Oh, there's nothing like just moving things 1,000 times, right, folks? Oh, I was at the loveliest farm this morning. Oh, the lady's just done, it's such, we have a lot of taste in common. I just think she's probably done it better than I have. She has a flat farm, which helps dramatically, because it really makes a difference. She had a friend of hers build a big maze, which is gorgeous. It is so pretty. It is just so nice. And she's done the neighborhood and the lawns and stuff like that, like I have. But her, you know, each lawn is bigger. It's a lot like the other, you know, the other farm, the recycled farm that I haven't gotten back to yet. It's a lot like that one. You know, the plots are a lot bigger. Everything's decorated a little bit more. And it's gorgeous. It is just beautiful. She's got a little carnival place with a little train running through it. We took a train ride together. It was fun. And yeah, she's got a little camping area. It's so, you know, I had a ball. You know, you run into a kindred spirit, right? It's like, oh, I'm just so happy here. This is perfect. It's very pretty. I think the next, you know, when I reach 250 with this farm, if I ever reach a point where I go, okay, it's done, my next one will be completely flat, because they just seem so easy to build on. It's like, oh, you just got these wide open spaces and you can do all this wonderful creative stuff, and it's like, I want to do that too, you know. Now with this, do I make this part of the whole diamond production thing? Now what I could do, I could line this with a hedge out here. Do I want to do this? We could line it with a hedge, and then we could have something a little bit more formal looking. Although even that doesn't work because of the house. I mean, the house stops Okay, what we would, okay, this is it. I think we've got this. So we've got two there, two there. If I put a row of trees in the back as a backdrop, that's great. And then I can put, you know, just a border of something here, and then the rest of the garden can follow this sort of formal design that's going out front. Okay, this will work, I think. We'll see. We'll see how often I change it. It'll be fine. 4 and 5. I guess I'm gonna have to go with the 6 because that will be the actual backdrop of the garden part. So I guess we'll have to finish all the way around. I would have liked an uneven number. I think like putting 5 of them there would have felt better, but I guess with the fountain being a 2 block wide, yeah, you work with what you've got. It's all good. Okay, so, you know, we have a foundation setting. It's fine. More or less. It's good. Now what? Now, I'm going to be honest. There's a part of me that's tempted to just leave it as lawn. Just a big, expansive lawn. Or maybe, you know, do a planting over here in some fashion. Because we could wrap something right around here. And again, if you know, this is diamond production. I'm going to do, these are the ones. Man, these are good. They're good at what they do. We could just do like so, excuse me, a little pop-a-roo there. And then that frames our fountain again, just like on the other sides. Actually, that's all right, maybe. Let us do it again. Do it again. Oh my gosh. There we go. So last night, yesterday, Quill has a gaming group. They've been playing every Tuesday night for, you know, 12, 15 years or something. And they started out playing Dungeons & Dragons for a long, long time. And then they've moved into a bunch of other games. And they invited me to come and play last night. Quill gave me a key for Pulsar Lost Colony. I think that's the name of the game. So it's like you're getting to walk around a ship and make, you know, have away missions on planets, and you're saving the world, or you could be a pirate. We decided to go with the saving the world part, and it was good fun. It was good fun. I became the science officer and had a ball. I've got to tell you, I had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. Now, okay, are we going to do what? Are we going to leave lawn and just put a walkway up with flowers? It is tempting, I'll tell you. Or do we go with flowers? And do I go with production flowers? Do I put in something like this? Or do we just go with the pots of flowers that will always look nice? You know, if we just use those square pots, or we could make, you know, just a bed around that. And it would always look pretty, which is, you know, there's something to be said for that. I could run a pond around these too, just like in the other, you know, we could have just a little river around that, so it sits in the center, which isn't bad, is it? Well, let's see what it looks like, folks. Hey, puppy. Gets in the water and stands there wagging his little tail. He's so cute. And so I had quite a good time last night. I was having a bad day yesterday on lots of levels, and stress was high, and I thought, I can't play. I don't even want to play. I don't want to play a game. I just look to be miserable by myself. And sometimes it's good to make the effort. You know, it's like, nah, it's probably good for you. Yeah, but I don't feel like it. Yeah, you know, you have these conversations with yourself, you know, because I'm bright that way. And I had a ball. It was great. Just got into saving the world and trying to learn the game and be a good science officer, and it was fun. Yeah, I might just, you know what, I don't think I'm going to plant this. I think I'm just going to leave it. Oh, I love those so much. What do I want to put around here? This one, above this one. Although I'm wondering if these are just going to feel too big and bulky. Those little cypress in front of the house are so tiny. This might just feel too overpowering. Tis a good question. Is there anything long and spiky that would follow that shape we're using? That's long and spiky, but it doesn't feel... Yeah, it feels far too informal. I love these. I cannot wait for that event to come back. And I can make sure I've got the maximum planted so I can, you know, pick away at them and use them in other places. White flowers often feel very formal too. It's kind of nice. I used to have a white garden. It was, at night, it was heavenly. It was so beautiful. You get a full moon on a clear night and you go out and walk through, and it was like I could walk through, and it was all white. I used to do a lot of gardening. It was pretty extensive, I'll be honest. And it just glowed. It just absolutely glowed. It was so beautiful. And I had a few kind of flowers that only opened at night. So that was the only time you could see them, is if you went out after dark. And there was one little teeny tiny white flower whose name I will never remember. It didn't even have, you know, what you'd call a common name. It was just, it had some long Latin thing. And I had found it in some obscure seed catalog one time and started them in the house in January. And I put them out in the garden. They were little tiny things. They were only about 6 inches high. And they weren't big round clumps or anything. They were just, you know, 2 inches across. They were just little scruffy things. So I just tucked them in here and there where they wouldn't be too noticeable, quite frankly. And at night, the scent that came off of those could be smelled almost a block away. They just perfumed the whole neighborhood. They were wonderful plants. And they only opened at night, and I'd go out and see these cute little teeny tiny white heads, little bitty things, like smaller than the end of your little finger, you know, little tiny flowers. And they gave off a scent. I put one little tiny plant in a little 2-inch pot one time and brought it into the house to sit on the kitchen table. And the perfume was so strong in the house, I actually had to take it out. It was too much. It was overpowering. It was amazing. Oh, they're wonderful little flowers. So what do you think? It's quiet. It's simple. It maybe could have been something else, but I'm kind of liking the quiet. I think it's just because my head needs quiet these days. I mean, we could do something like so. I don't know if that's any better or worse. Not really either. It just is. Well, this didn't, again, this is not at all what I had in mind when I started this. But I think it'll be fine. We'll come along here. We'll get to see the private part of the garden a little bit. And then we'll be moving along this way. You know what? It'll be fine. I can live with this. I can absolutely live with this. So we might as well immediately put in the watering things, because I'm getting something like an extra, I don't know, 100 per if they're watered or unwatered, and that's not a number to ignore or sneeze at. There we go, and you can go. Oh, come on. Do it. There you go. Thank you. These were all just harvested too, so these new ones will come in a little bit later than the others, but over a period of a day. I'm never in at the same time all the time anyway. There you go. Now, somebody was telling me how to hack the files in this game so I could get in and get rid of that 10 million ribbons and put it down to something that I probably, you know, have earned, which would feel really nice. But it didn't work for me, and I think I feel like there's a step missing somewhere, and it may have to do with Steam clouds and backing up, and you know, I don't know, but it didn't work, so I will be trying that again. So with hope someday you'll look up and see a sane number there, and I have made sure that I'm tucking my chair in now when I leave the computer so Bella doesn't get up here and play around anymore. Evil dog. How do we go? Are we done? I think, you know what? I'm fine. I'm good with this. It's okay. It's okay. It's not as fancy and glittery as it could be, but I'm saving the glitter for the carnival because that's going to be loud and noisy. And it'll be nice to have someplace quiet and peaceful to come back to. I'm sure I'll appreciate this after spending an evening at the carnival. So there we go, guys. I think this is done. We're fine. Thank you for being here. I love your comments. Keep it up. You guys are fabulous and great and kind, and I love you to death. So see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.